Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dan Mates Games. We're back today with another tier ranking video, the second one for the channel, but this one is a little different. This time we're going to be ranking you, the viewers, your favorite images from best to worst. The God tier down to just the plain overhyped images. Put this out in Discord and on Twitch yesterday, and you guys submitted over 100 images. It was phenomenal. If you want to be part of this, come follow me over on twitch.tv/10minutesgames. Join the Discord. All those links will be down in the description, so you can be a part of these future videos if you want to be. If not, you can just sit back and enjoy them. That's fair. But anyways, thank you guys for so many submissions to it. I think this is going to be cool. I'm going to change to the screen in a minute and we'll start it, but I just want to say thank you for submitting it. I think this is a really cool idea. If you guys are going to enjoy this video, make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel to more SuperCard content coming up live over on twitch.tv/10minutesgames, here on YouTube, and much more. Anyways, let's move into it. Let's rank your images from best to worst. Right, so as you guys can see above me, there is a grid ranking. Basically, we have the God tier, the great cards, the pretty goods, the average. It's a cool card, but yeah, it's not like that special to me. And then there's the overhyped tier. And trust me, there's a couple overhyped ones in this one. We're going to post all these images so you'll see them as well, like in full. Again, thank you guys for submitting these. There's 83 images here to go through. So we're going to set a like goal for this video, say be 83 likes. It's huge. It's way above what I normally ask, but I thought, hey, 83 images, why not ask for 83 likes? See if you guys can smash it. You've done some phenomenal stuff recently. Anyways, we're going to start this one out. We're going to go basically from top left and go down to the bottom. We're going to end with Sasha Banks. We're going to start up here with Triple H. I'm going to decide which images, talk about them a little bit. We'll put them on screen as well so you guys can see them. We're going to go through it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to show you guys what we think. And again, let me know down in the comments which ones you agree with, which ones you would disagree with, and if you have many of these legacy images or many of these images yourself. I think it's kind of cool. I don't have many of them, sadly. I've noticed. I've got quite a few, but not that many. Anyways, let's get into it. Thank you guys again for submitting. I think it's gonna be fun. So right off the bat, first card, we have the Triple H WrestleMania 37, I forget what year we're in, event image. I really like this one. I thought it was a really cool image for him. It's actually really quite good. And again, I don't know where I'm going to place it. I want to say great, because it is a really nice image right off the bat, right? It's a great image for Triple H. The overall designs for Forged events looked fantastic, but there's a lot of better cards in there. So I think I'm going to have to sit it pretty good. It can't go much higher, you know? It doesn't quite fit the rank of great. It honestly doesn't. Second up, we have Rey Mysterio with WrestleMania 35, the art style. These images, they were special. They were really cool that, you know, we got some art designs out there, 100%. And I know a lot of people like them. And when a few of them came back around in a couple of events and people were picking them up, they were like, oh my god, I have the Rey Mysterio, I have the Charlotte Flair, the Undertaker. And I'm gonna be honest, I could put it up here, we're pretty good. But reality being, I'm going to put it down in overhyped. I'm sorry, but it is. As cool as it is, I didn't personally like the art style to it. So through my personal choice, I would say they're overhyped. It's not as good as what people put it out to be. I already feel guilty for putting a card in the overhyped section so quickly, but at the same time, is what it is. I didn't choose the order of these cards. It did it for us. Again, link to this tier list will be in the description. If you guys want to play this yourself, you can rank it, you can share it, you can tweet it at me if you want to over on twitter.com/DanMatesGames with an underscore, because someone has my full name. Anyways, next one up, we have Becky Lynch. This is Goliath event card. Honestly, this is one of the images I really wish I got. I'd only recently started playing the game at this point. I must have been playing for about 3 or 4 months when this card came out. Didn't really know what event cards were at the time because I was a very casual player, once or twice a week sort of thing, but I wish I went for it. And personally, I think this image it's definitely either in great or god tier, but I can't tell for me. I want to put it, oh, it's so difficult, but I'm going to drop that one. The card design I'm taking into consideration here, the image as well. I'm going to put it in great. I don't think it's reached the status of god tier. We definitely have a god tier image further down, which is like right here with Bliss, but yeah, it's all there. One that was very interesting here, and a lot of people seem to submit the same image because everybody seems to really like this one, and it's a Last Man Standing edition Fiend, like event card, and it's really nice, to be honest with you. Like it's the Elemental event ones. I'm a big fan for Elemental. My own game dev company has like crystals and, you know, that sort of thing for like our logo, so seeing, you know, Elemental tier, I've always liked their cards. As for the image for the Fiend as well, love the Fiend, absolutely love it. So by default, I'm gonna put this image at actually only pretty good. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be backlash on the Fiend there because loads of people seem to like it as their favorite. It is a really good image of the Fiend too, but I can't say it's as good as like the Becky Lynch card we've just put across. Honestly, it's nice, and it's very nice, but it's not that nice. Anyway, we're gonna move on again. We're gonna go through next card. We have Season 1 Roman Reigns. This one's a little old. This is definitely before my time, and I have a feeling they were a promotional card. Again, if you guys know what they are with the WWE logos in the background, please let me know. I did used to know what they were, but I have since forgotten. Yeah, Roman Reigns, pretty good card. It's different to Roman's more recent images, and I don't know what it is. Season 1 cards have a certain look to them that they just look classic. So I'm always a big fan of Season 1. Only thing is, though, in terms of Season 1, this is not that impressive. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's kind of average in terms of what you think when you think of a Roman Reigns image. There's the portrait pack for Roman, there's his Mania 37 Spring that comes up in this week's TRTG, there's his recent Extreme card, which again looks phenomenal, but I'm going to put this one down as a very average card, and I'm sorry to all the Roman fans, but there's better images of him out there, you know that too. Okay, next up we got one of the classic cards, massive one of fan favorite. To be honest with you, right, I don't have any AJ Lee cards. I would love to have had AJ Lee cards, and they do look really nice. This is like a WrestleMania Season 1, I believe. And again, I'm seeing like small crop down versions here. I'm guessing the tiers half the time. I say guessing, but you know what I mean. Anyway, this is AJ Lee, and again, classic cards, I have a default to like them more, except for that Roman Reigns apparently. In terms of like special edition stuff, I usually like Season 1, especially around like WrestleMania Survivor tier. They were always good. As for this one though, I'm taking into consideration again the images and like the backgrounds to the cards. And I'm gonna, and this might feel really criminal, and it's starting to as I do this, I'm gonna put it down in average. It's so criminal to do it, honestly, because it's a lovely card. It's just, the image, there are better images of AJ out there, there are nicer backgrounds, but I gotta say, it's kind of average. But here's where we're going to step it up a little bit here. We have now Shinsuke Nakamura, around the same time period, I think, one of his images. And again, I'm not like the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura fan in the world, but I do really like it. That being said, the card design, love it. By comparison to the AJ Lee card here, it looks phenomenal. Together, they don't even look like they're in the same, the same category. But that being said, the background looks phenomenal. The render used for Shinsuke Nakamura, I think, is phenomenal, and that's why I'm going to put it as the first card to reach God tier. In my opinion, you can't really go against that, to be honest. It is just that good. The first of the title belt images that you guys have submitted, this is Dolph Ziggler with Intercontinental Championship, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really have many title images. I'm missing a lot of them, and this one's pretty good. It's a really nice image. I like his pose. The fact it's got a title belt gives it like a default. It cannot go below pretty good. You know what I mean? Like average, no. Overhyped, it could fit in there still. So that being said, I think it's above pretty good. It'd be better to have, and you'd prefer to have it than one of these because it has got the title belt. So it's going to land in great. It's not God tier. There are better images out there, but again, it can't go low. It's gonna score high. Title belt images are by default, they're gonna score pretty high. Anyways, next to that, we got our next card. We have Dean Ambrose. It's very similar to the Roman Reigns card, so by default, this Dean Ambrose, or Moxley now, is going to land in average. I'm sorry, it is an average card. It's not special. It's just old. It's just not a card at this point. That sounds really brutal. But anyway, moving on. We then have another one of these special edition cards similar to the Shinsuke Nakamura. This one has a title belt image in it too. Nikki Bella, fair enough, is a superstar. Yeah, the card combination design, the image choice, and a title belt, it's gonna default above the Dolph Ziggler. You guys can tell that that's not in the same league as Ziggler, but it is up in that same sort of tier as where Shinsuke belongs. So, and again, that's our second god tier. This is actually really well balanced. Speaking of well balanced, we then have SummerSlam Finn Balor. I see this one coming around quite a bit. I don't think many people have this image by comparison. I don't see it that often, and people are like, oh, look at this, it's a Finn Balor. No one has it. Yeah, that's cool, but same time, it's not actually that good. We're gonna drop it in Overhyped. It's not a great image. It's rare, which adds points to it, I suppose, in that sense, but it's just not great. It's not a great image. I don't care. Then got on that one, we next move on to Seth Rollins 2K18 edition image. Again, I love the 2K stuff you get with the video games, all those sort of QR code special edition images. They're usually pretty nice. It's definitely better than an average image, even though it is kind of hit and miss. So the fact that it is a special design card originally, I'm going to put that as a pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not great. There is definitely better images in here, but it's better than average. It's above average, but not great. So we're going to land it in the pretty good. This one was one that over summer this year, a lot of people were after because it was Shattered Summer Liv Morgan. There was also the Jeff Hardy, and again, people have submitted the Jeff. I'm only taking one from each special edition here because we'll be here forever. And this is already going to be a long video, but again, if you are enjoying it, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe if you made it this far. Let me know if you're agreeing with what I've done so far in the comments. I'm very interested to see who I managed to trigger with these. Anyway, Shattered Liv Morgan. Again, it's a really nice image. One of her best renders, if not her best render in the game, 100%. Some of the designs are phenomenal too. So by default, it's not going to be overhyped. I genuinely really like this one. A lot of people liked it for a reason. Way better than average. Pretty good. It is pretty good. It is pretty good, but I don't think it reaches the rank of great next to the Becky and Dolph. So for that reason, we're going to land it in pretty good. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Next up, we have Seth Rollins with Money in the Bank briefcase. Again, pretty nice card. Again, it's old school. Same time period as the rest of the Shield we got down there. And yeah, I like it. I like it a fair bit more. So even though it is the same time period, and in my head I want to put it as average down with Dean and Roman, it's not average. It's got a prop in it. It's got either a title belt or something. So by default, it's going to score a little higher. I wouldn't say it's up to the tier of great, where the other title belt images are. Or would I? This one could be like an in-between tier, between great and pretty good. I think that would be where it would fit. Like, it's better than these current Seths. Actually, you know what? Through talking about that, it is better than the Fiend, it is better than Triple H, and it's better than the Seth below it. So if by that default, it is the first Money in the Bank briefcase image we've seen, it's going to go in great. It's going to go in the great section. Next to it, we got Titan Finn Balor Money in the Bank image. I love this image of Finn. I think it's one of the best in the game. So by default, we're going to go through and we're going to set it to... It works on every tier. This is the thing. The card design is great. The background is phenomenal. And the image is really good. But for some reason, I'm struggling to justify putting it in the great category. I'm sold. It's going to great. It's going to great. I'm not going to comment on it. It's great. I don't need to put a reason to it. We'll forget it and move on. Okay, next up we have a special edition Dean Ambrose. Special edition cards always sit well with me. I really like this Dean Ambrose and really wish I had it. I don't think I've ever seen it in the game. It might have even been a custom card that got snuck in here somehow. If it is, I don't know how, but yeah, I really wish I had this one. By default, it's way better than the pretty good. I wouldn't quite say it's... Oh, I might even say it's the Dean Ambrose fans in chat / Moxley fans. It's going to promote above great. It's going to go into God tier. It is that much different. It's so different. It just looks... Yeah. I got to fill up the great tier somewhere, the God tier, sorry, it's somewhere. So that's where it's going into. Next up, we got Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss, one of my favorite female wrestlers, and it's way better than, like, it's definitely in great. By default, it's in great. For me, like, it's above the pretty goods. We all know that. Like, whether you like Bliss or not, we know it's better than these sort of tiers. Again, none of these images are bad by any means, but it's just, yeah, no, this is going to have to sit in. I'm going to drop it in great. Again, these might move later on, but I'm thinking they're going to be in great. I'm thinking that's where they're going to be. Next to that, we have a Becky Lynch Christmas. These Christmas images were really good. I like, again, like I said, I'm a fan of Bliss. I like Bliss's one. Becky Lynch's one's pretty cool too, but I wouldn't say it's up to the standard of what these are. Again, it would fit with a middle category with, like, very good before great. But I think we're gonna find enough images to vibe it that way. So we're gonna drop it in pretty good. It's pretty good. Final decision to it. Next up, we got John Cena with a title belt. Again, any title belt images by default pretty damn good. But it is the image for John Cena is not my favorite. Like, although I have this title belt image, I wouldn't necessarily want to go with it all the time. So for that reason, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna go above it. It can't reach great. The image itself of Cena is not as good. The design for the card, really nice. But the render for it, which is what I'm basing a majority of this off of, it's a pretty good one. I wouldn't say no. Next up, we have Chris Jericho, a big Chris Jericho fan here. So by default, I really like this image, and it looks a lot different to the other Chris Jericho images I have in the game. Like, it's got a microphone in it as well. So if there was still current and, like, more Chris Jericho cards coming into the game, and I had this image, I think this would be the image I would use on every card. So, like, to me, that makes it by default, a god tier image. It is what it is. It is phenomenal. Speaking of phenomenal, next up we have AJ Styles with his title belt. A lot of people submitted this one. I think about 4 or 5 times this was submitted to the Discord. And I'm sitting there watching it when we were streaming it live yesterday. And I'm thinking, I knew that image was going to come into it. And I have this image. I like this image. But for some reason, I don't like the fact that his glove makes it look like his fingers are, I don't know, like 2 large fingers or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm not a fan of it. And as cool as it is, and yeah, thing is, I don't use it on many AJ cards. I often use, like, Behemoth Christmas and other stuff for him. I'm going to put this down in Overhyped. Like, it's definitely something people love. But Yeah, I think it's overhyped. It's not as good as what people make it out. Speaking of which, another card that everybody submitted and everybody thinks is fantastic is Alexa Bliss with SmackDown title belt image. And I know what you're thinking, Dan, how could you put it in overhyped? It is Bliss, one of your favorites, with a title image, one of the nicest portrait packs in the world. So how are you putting it in overhyped? Answer is, I'm not. It's going into God tier. Because, of course, it's going into God tier. It's one of the nicest images in the game, if not potentially everybody's favorite or most wanted image in the game. Let me know down in the comments which image you would want the most in the game that you currently do not have in your card catalog. For me, it's Bliss with a title belt. I love title belt images. I love Bliss. I think that'd be one of my favorites. So currently we're about halfway through. Let's get back into it. We're going to fly through some of these. We're going to go for Becky Lynch. Money in the Bank edition, it's special edition. The card background designed was phenomenal. The render itself, though, hit and miss for me. So for that reason, I'm gonna drop it in average. I'm not gonna lie, I can't hit above average. Next up, we got Bret Hart, looking pretty good. It's a nice card. I generally like these special edition event ones, and for Bret, I think for Bret, it's gonna be one of the go-to images. The borderline to it makes me want to drop it in pretty good, but I'm gonna have to drop that in great. It is a great image of Bret. You would use it on most tiers you have. Same reason for that. If you have a Brock Lesnar in the game, you're going to want to use this title belt image if you have it. Like, it is that good. Right, next up, we have a couple Charlotte Flair images. We're going to go use some quick fire. We have a Charlotte Flair with a title belt image. I love Charlotte Flair, despite unpopular opinions, etc. So for that reason, she's going up there next to Bliss with the title belt image. The next one's pretty good. It'd be a nice image, but it's not up to the standard I wouldn't have thought of great. So I'm going to drop it with pretty good. Is what it is. It's going to land where we land. Right, next up, we have Chris Jericho. Again, massive Jericho fan. I think next to the microphone image for him we've already gone through, I think this one is a phenomenal image. And possibly, it's got to be one of my favorites. It's a profile picture level standard at all times. So I want to put it in God tier, but I for some reason can't. There's going to be other great images in there that I think is going to go up there. So for that reason, Jericho for now is sitting in great. At the same time that we come back with Dean Ambrose. Again, I like Dean Ambrose. I know chat likes Dean Ambrose quite a lot. I know that you guys will be upset if I put him down anywhere lower than pretty good. But I don't care about that. I'll fill this out how I want to. You deal with it. Anyway, it is like the Shinsuke Nakamura and Nikki Bella we have at the top. And again, they're nice cards. And Dean's really nice, but like by comparison, I wouldn't say this image of Dean was as good as the last one up here next to it. So for that reason, I'm gonna do the heel turn. I'm gonna drop it in pretty good. It's not great. It's not great. It's better. The card design is really good. Render wise, I'm gonna have to leave it there. I'm gonna have to put it in great. It can't quite reach God tier. Speaking of God tier, though, we have Kevin Owens with the Universal Championship. Love Kevin Owens. Love the render. Card design again feels classic. Feels old school nowadays. So for that reason, we're dropping it in God tier. Title belt images, again, have that default. Local talent. This is a very interesting image. Some of you that are watching this video might not even know this was a card. I didn't really, or whatever it actually is. I know people like JB who've had it for like a profile picture and stuff in the past, and I know other people have had it since. I think a lot of people want this, but don't have it. So I wouldn't be surprised if people said in the comments, hey, I want the local talent card. Yeah, it's interesting. So for that reason, I can't score it low. I can't put it in overhyped because I don't think enough people know about it for it to be an overhyped image of like, wow, this is phenomenal. Because I think I would want it. It's not great though. So for that reason, we landed in pretty good. And yeah, fire me if you want to, but that's where it's standing right now. Okay, next up we have Luke Harper image, Intercontinental Championship. This image, definitely up there. It's got a phenomenal background. It's a title belt image. It's a very popular superstar in that same sense, so for that reason, like, I want to put it in great next to Brock, but the background of it, I think, puts it up there for me, so I'm going to put him at the top in God tier. It's a really nice image. Yeah, it is what it is. It's really good. I like it a lot. Next up, we have Paige, 2 back-to-back Paige cards. We have essentially old school image of her, not really even special edition, so I'm just going to say that for the upcoming Paige image, this one and the next one, they're both going to go into average. Yeah, it's a title belt image of Paige, but it still sits in average for me. We have a special edition one with like the fiery background. Again, this one's a nice background. Love the image render for it. So for that one, I would say this image is definitely not an average image. And it is definitely better than pretty good. So I would rank that in great. I would love to use that image. Again, might be one of those images I use all the time. Next up, we have Randy Orton. This tier, Survivor Season 1, has some phenomenal images. Some of the best images in the game. So for that reason alone, we're going to drop it into great. It can't not. They got different like periods of time for different superstars, and Yeah, man, that tier is right up there. Again, we picked some of the best images in the game. This is why they're your favorites. We're not going to get a lot of these like average ones, but we're there. Although I think in a second I might just upset a few fans of certain superstars. Next, Randy Orton though. Again, I love the image. I like the background quite a bit, and I'd say it's good. Again, this is somewhere that would fit somewhere between pretty good and average, but there's not really a category for that. So for that reason, I don't think I would actually take Randy Orton and from that image and use them on different ones, but it is a nice card overall still. Again, none of these are bad images by any means or anything along those lines, but he's going to land in average. He can't go higher. He's not up there with the Dean Ambrose from the card above or the Becky Lynch, which again, they could arguably be higher. Again, let me know what you think in the comments, but that's where Randy's going to sit for a while. Next up, we have one of the most like hyped up images you will find in the game. We have a Roman Reigns Money in the Bank briefcase and title belt image. And I know a lot of people love this card. The background for it looks great. The fact it's got a title belt and a Money in the Bank image in it, I'm pretty sure that's unique to him in the game. I don't think anybody else has had both. And yeah, I mean, it's good. I like the card. I would love to have it. I don't have it. At the same time, I wouldn't necessarily use this image on other cards. It has got a very strong outline. And there's a lot of people that push it as the best image. And for some reason, I want to take it down where AJ is. And I'm going to drop this image in the Overhyped. It's just not there for me. It doesn't hit the same. If I had it, I'd love to have it. But I would never use it on another card. I'd be honest. I'll go with Portrait Pack or one of the newer cards. Honestly, Extreme SummerSlam 21 tier card for Roman. Phenomenal image. I would happily use that. Mania 37 Spring or Portrait Pack. Any of those would be my first choices. This would be about 4th or 5th on the list. Next up, we have back to Sasha Banks, and I'm going to drop this one real quick. It's going into Overhyped. It's a turbo image, and people love that. It's one of the more easily accessible turbo images because it was around later in the game than the rest of the images that we've used here. So all the other ones before this were around like whenever, but this one, yeah, this one is the most recent of them, I suppose. So people more often have it, and they think it, and you know, a lot of people say it's like the best image in the game for Sasha, and I do not see that in any way. So for that reason, I'm putting it in Overhyped. Alternatively, though, next to it we have the SummerSlam edition for Sasha Banks with Raw Women's title, and I like that card. It's definitely better than average. Title belts again usually do pretty well, or they go the other way and go to the Overhyped. So for that reason, I'm going to drop her in pretty good. And now we have a tie for great cards and pretty good. God tier up there. Average is creeping its way up, and Overhyped is hit up with it too, to be honest with you. Right, next up we have a Sheamus with a title belt. Again, very popular image. I quite like it. I think I'd use it quite a bit, to be fair. So yeah, I would use it, but I think Sheamus has better images without a title belt in there. Cat Daddy have done a great job of farming some new images for him, newer images in fact. So based on that, and there are better ones out there for Sheamus, I'm gonna have to drop him in average. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to drop him in average. Shoot me if you want to. Like, it's an average card. It's good, but it is still kind of average. It's a title belt. It's one of the more mediocre of the title belt ones. You know, you want that Dolph Ziggler. You'd like to see that Sasha Banks before that Sheamus or that John Cena. You know. Right, next up we have Undertaker. Again, special edition one. I've never seen this image before it was submitted yesterday. I don't know who submitted it. I know it was submitted a couple times, but thank you for doing that. I think it looks pretty good. Like, it's a nice taker. It's an alternative one. I don't think I've ever seen anybody using this image in the game. And again, if you come into my Twitch live streams where I do deck checks and stuff from time to time, feel free to add this image if you have it, and let's see what the image looks like on some of the newer tier taker cards. I'd love to see it. But for that reason anyways, I'm going to drop it into, and I want to say it's good, like really good, but I can't swing it higher than a lot of these. So for that reason, there are good taker images out there. And I feel criminal, but I want to drop it into average. I'm not gonna lie, the hooded Undertaker ones don't hit as well for me as the other pose ones do. Like Cataclysm Event Undertaker, that's up there. That hooded one, it's just another hooded image, dude. Like, they're not bad, but they don't hit the same as like special edition ones of him do. Speaking of which, if you take it by comparison, this next Undertaker image we have here, it is up there, you know? This is a god tier Undertaker image. The hair out, everything, the background's phenomenal, the card design is like just perfect. This is the Undertaker I wish I had, but do not have, sadly. So for that reason, by default, this card is probably one of my favorites. Like, next to Bliss with title belt and maybe Nikki Bella and Jericho, I think this would be one of those cards that I would really wish I could one day get my hands on. Legacy packs, bring them back to the store. I'll make pack opening videos on it again. I'll let you guys watch that if they do. I'm asking for it. I want to see it happen. Anyways, we're down to the last two lines of cards here. We're nearly done. and it's only taken about 35 minutes to record. I'm going to say sorry to the editor in part, and Sammy, you can keep it in the video if you want to. Oh, thumbs up for Sammy. We then have Adam Cole next. Big fan. New AEW superstar right there. This is his SummerSlam 19 event card. I do have it. This is actually the current image I have on him in the game, and I really, really like it. Thing is, it is a really good image. I love the backgrounds at that time. This was when I got my first heroic, like full heroic card too, with Razor Ramon in that tier. But again, when you look at it down to it, when you look at some of these other images, the other ones are just so good by comparison that I think this Adam Cole is going to land in... It's going to land in average, man. That's shocking. I wouldn't have said that by any means. That's going to land in average. That's good. That's going to... Oh. But it's only because there's cards that are so nice in next to it, you know? Next to that, Adam Cole again. I'm just tag him along. 2 Adam Coles next to each other. Average. Average right there. I do like Adam Cole, by the way. Next to that, we have AJ Styles Special Edition one. It is similar to Seth Rollins' 2K18 one we've done earlier in the video. We're now up to the 2K19 edition. And I'm going to say it's going to land here too. It's also a pretty good card. It's not bad. Is what it is. It's nice. It's not great. Oh, actually, no. This is going to be the first one I'm going to change right here. It's going to land in great. It is up there. I would love to use that card. It's next to like Behemoth Christmas. Not as good as that one, but if that had been submitted, that would be the replacement. About the same thing. Next to it, we have Aleister Black again. Former WWE superstars hitting the ring right here. Yeah, we have Aleister Black, special edition. Love to see it, like a specially themed card for him. Love that they do that, by the way. Like, I think that's phenomenal. And in terms of Aleister Black fans and what I like about him, I don't know if I can justify it as God tier or even. Oh, it's gonna land in pretty good. It's gonna land in pretty good. It's up there. It's definitely better than the last Adam Cole cards out there. Whether or not it can match up with like Becky Lynch's Goliath event one or like the Bliss special edition Brock with his title belt, these Jerichos, I don't think it can. So for me, it's gonna land in pretty good. I would love to have it, but it's only gonna land as a pretty good. Next to that, we have Bliss, one of my favorite images in the game that I don't have. I think it's one of the nicest renders ever brought to it. And for all of the SummerSlam edition cards that came with this one, there was a few other ones. I think someone submitted Drew McIntyre at the same tier. I love the background designs for these cards. They look so good, like the brick wall, everything. It was so colorful, vibrant, and Bliss being the favorite superstar, I think chat liked to play to my attention on that one. For that reason, I'm gonna drop it up in God tier too. It is. I would pay anything to have that card. I would love that card in the collection more than anything. At the same time, a lot of people still on the Bliss hype here. A lot of you guys at this point, I think, took a strike to wanting to go towards Bliss cards. So you hit up quite, and I'm going to do this in rapid fire. We got 4 more Bliss cards. We have SummerSlam 17 Halloween edition. Love Halloween cards. Hopefully we get some cool ones this year. Again, pack opening videos on the horizon for it. Bliss one, overhyped. It's not phenomenal. Same with this one. It's also overhyped. It's also overhyped, to be honest with you. It's cool. It's just not for me. The other Halloween ones they did same year, SummerSlam 19, they did like the mummy ones for Batista and Bayley. They would have hit so much harder than the skeleton ones. That's personal preference. Again, doesn't mean it's a bad image. But yeah, that could score better if it was Bayley and Batista. Anyways, next onto it we have Bliss's Christmas. Again, that card is pretty damn good. So we're going to put it in the pretty good category. Now stretching out a little bit. I'm now overhyped. I've landed in the overhyped category. That says something, doesn't it? Again, thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. Next one, Bliss card. We have a pretty good. It's a phenomenal render. The Extreme cards have done so well. They've been getting better and better every year. Again, I did an Extreme pack opening. If you haven't seen that, it's my most recent video. Go check it out. Hopefully you like it. Let me know what Extreme cards you got. That sort of good stuff. Anyway, she's landing in pretty good. She doesn't really take bad renders, to be fair, with Bliss. Batista, same vibe. He's pretty good. SummerSlam 17, I love the 3 faces. That effect is rare to find, and it looks phenomenal. Next to that, one of my favorite Batista images in the game, and I'm so happy I had it. I was so excited to get this image. I love the background, I love the pro animation, and I love the render. So for that reason, you guys might think this is an averagey sort of card, or that one, but in my personal opinion, which is what this video is, I'm going to put it in God tier. This Batista is a God tier image. I'm not going to lie. It is up there as God tier. So there you have it. Next up, we have Cataclysm Throwback Batista. And I want to put this out there. I love like old school trading card vibes. And for some reason, this card really gives me like an old school trading card vibe. And yeah, I mean, it's not Batista's best image. I'm not the fan of that one. But like by default, the card design, if I could separate it, I would say the card design is great. But the image makes it pretty good. So for that reason, or even average, it would be the image for me. But for that reason, we're going to middle ground it. We're going to put it in pretty good. Next to that, we've got Batista, Special Edition one. Again, love the card design in the background. SmackDown Special Edition. That was with partnership with Fox, I believe, back in the day, like 2 years ago now. Wow, that was a long time ago. But I remember getting that card and feeling like, oh my god, I got it. And it was like a champion and everything for a long time. That reason, I'm going to have to go and say it's got to be... This is a long time to think on it. But I want to score it down in kind of average at the end of the day. Coming back to it, it was a nice card, don't get me wrong. But there's some better cards out there. If I'm honest, there's a lot of better cards out there that I would love to see. Anyways, next to that, we have Batista in a suit. Apparently, you guys all went in themes. You picked a superstar you liked and then went in themes. Batista suit images. These were from Vanguard tier. Vanguard tier had suit images. I love Vanguard tier. One of my favorite tiers in the game. Designs-wise for the cards, phenomenal. Renders for the normal tier, phenomenal. Event card-wise, card design, phenomenal. Images, everybody had a suit on. And I don't like the suit images. So for that reason, it's overhyped. Any Vanguard image, event one, except for the very first one, which was Hulk Hogan. I'm surprised that didn't show up. I would have thought that would have been up there. But, I mean, that Hulk Hogan might have landed near God tier for me. Or at least in the great. But, yeah. Suit images, I can't live with them. Up next, we have gone back to the Bayley vibes. Again, we have WrestleMania 33 events. This tier had a Jeff Hardy, a Rock event image in here. I think the Rock one is still to come. It is. Yeah, these event ones looked phenomenal. Bayley's one is great. One of the best images of her in the game. Jeff, again, would be one of my God tier images. So, by default, Bayley, you'll end up in God tier with the rest of us. And apologies again, now that the list is getting bigger, that this is like branching down. But you can still see most of it. It's not gone off screen yet, so that's a win. I need to add like one more card to the pretty good category, and I think we're going to knock Overhyped down off the board at this point. Anyways, we're going to go down to it. Bayley next, WrestleMania 35. Love this card, love the image, love Bayley. It can't score as high as some of these other special editions, in my opinion. You know, it's not up to these standards on some of these cards. So for that reason, it's average. Bayley Elemental Championship. I love these title belt images. Been in my Twitch streams before. You'll know the meme with this particular card that it took me about a year to get it. And then I had to delete it based on a challenge. So, rip my Bayley card, eh? But for that reason, I've loved the card. I've always wanted it. Her, Braun, all of them. Drew McIntyre. I've loved all their cards. So for that reason, it's God tier. Design and image render for Bayley. It's up there. I think chat knew that when they put that in there. Becky Lynch Valentine. Love the Valentine design. It's up there. It's got to be up with the Bayley card. It is a God tier image. It is a God tier card. The phenomenal. It's one of the better renders that people would love to use for Becky Lynch. One of the best. Like, blends on any card. And the background on the base card is top tier. We have a Big Show card. SummerSlam 19 throwback. I miss throwback cards and Hall of Fame cards. I hope to see them again one day. But this one, I don't know, man. There's a lot of really good throwback cards in the game. For example, Neon tier has some nice throwbacks. Gothic tier has some nice throwbacks. I think Neon one has some of the nicest, to be fair. And then like Ultimate and tiers like older than that, you know, they had some really good ones. But for SummerSlam 19, I'm gonna say that's an average card. It's not their best, but it's not a bad image by any means. It's still really good. Next to that, next up we have the Boogie Man. Moved into the horror characters now. Around SummerSlam 19 tier. Apparently went in tiers too. Boogie Man. It looks good. I want to put it up high because I love the Boogie Man. So I'm gonna put him in the great category. It's a great image. It's a profile picture for Halloween every year. And for that reason, you do love to see it. But yeah, same time, I can't really score higher than that. You can't quite hit the God tier for me, but it lands up in the pretty greats. So next up, we have the Fiend Hell in a Cell. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of people say they like it. And you know what? There's better images of the Fiend out there. I'm going to say it. There's better images out there. There's better cards of the Fiend, better design cards for the Fiend. It's up there as one of his better ones. But I don't think it's his best. I don't think it deserves the praise that people sing for it when there's better cards that are currently in the game for him, in my opinion. So for that reason, I'm going to drop him in Overhyped. Down at the bottom. Yeah, we have to scroll now. It's getting that many cards on the board. But it is what it is. Again, if you want to try this yourself, link is in the description. Give it a shot. Tweet me an answer. I'd be interested to see how you guys rank it. It's a bit of fun. Takes you about 45 minutes by the looks of it so far. But I'm talking as I go through. Anyways, next up we have Carmella. This image, again, phenomenal, really. It is Money in the Bank Special Edition WrestleMania 33. I think possibly the only Carmella image in the game I don't have currently. And I would love a shot to get it one day. And it is really, really good. Looks like it would blend on every card. But I can't justify it going into God tier for me. I'm going to put it in great. It's up there. It's special edition. We do love it, but it's only great. It's only great. This card was one of the first ones I ever bought. Carmella WrestleMania 34 Money in the Bank. One of the first cards I ever spent contracts on. This is before the days of Super Coins. Spent contracts on this one to get the Pro. Loved the Pro animation. The Pro animation for it was beautiful. It was like an explosion behind it. Seth Rollins had a card as well, I believe. But it was really good, and I spent a lot of stuff on it. But in hindsight, I can't rank it as high as I used to feel about it. So for that reason, I'm going to drop it in pretty good. It's above average, but it's, yeah, I can't score that low. I spent 50,000 credits trying to get it, or contracts trying to get it. I can't rank it lower than pretty good. So it's up there. We have Carmella Valentine up next. Yeah, to be honest, they've done some really nice special edition image cards for her. I tweeted out a clip yesterday from stream of me managing to achieve the Extreme Edition for WrestleMania 37, which means that I now have her in Biomech. I have her in Royal Rumble and in WrestleMania 37 special editions, and all of them, in my opinion, look phenomenal. So for that reason, it's going in great. Next up, we have Snow Globe Dakota Kai. Love the Snow Globe Christmas ones. They just look good. I'm not gonna lie, they look really good. Some of my favorite Christmas ones. I would say I prefer them more than where the Primal Bliss one was, but about the same. So for that reason, I'm gonna rank it as pretty good. And it's weird that I'm putting like what seems like a normal kind of shattered Christmas card now above, you know, like title image Sheamus and AJ Lee cards. Man, I feel like a criminal doing this. God damn. Anyways, we have Jeff Hardy. Again, special edition one for it. I don't have this image. I do like it a lot. So for me, it's going in great. I can't get it to the top. It's going in great. The one next to it is going in great as well. They're not bad by any means. I love the SummerSlam 20 event image design and Mania 33 Jeff we just put in. Again, they're both phenomenal cards. Backgrounds, great. Image is great. I love pretty much everyone that Jeff has, but there are better ones of Jeff out there that weren't on this list. I didn't pick these cards. You guys picked them. The same one is like the Bailey we put up here. There is a Jeff. The same, if it would have been that image, it would have landed in God tier as well. But for that reason, it's not that one. I'm put them in great. Right, so we are down to our last line of cards. We have a couple special editions left. We're going to power through it. Again, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll do more videos if you want to see more of these. Anyways, let's go. We have a Kevin Owens special edition. Love Kevin Owens, love the image. Background, phenomenal. It's going in pretty good. I'm not going to justify it. I'm quick thinking that one. It's pretty good. Kofi Kingston SummerSlam 18 event card. I remember these. Reason I remember it is because in this tier, in SummerSlam 18 tier, was the first time ever throughout 5 years now, nearly 5 years now of playing SuperCard, that I've actually got a 2-week event card. So I played like Road to Glory 1 week, Ring Domination the other, and got the event card both times. That was the first time I ever did it, and the only time I did it for like a year or two after as well. That was a Rey Mysterio card. I didn't get Kofi. Again, I love the design on it, and it's nostalgic to me. That brings me back to it, so I want to put it in great. I'm gonna put it in great. It's better than pretty good, you know. And on that same reason, as I'm sitting here, I gotta justify the Sasha Banks move up to great by the end here too. It's got to move up. It's got to move up. Same with the Charlotte Flair, and same with the Dean Ambrose. They've got to move up. They've got to move up. They're great images. I'd love to have them. Yeah, there we go. That's moved. That's moved. Next up, we have Lita. I love Hall of Fame cards. This is one of Lita's best in the game, but she has got Gothic Hall of Fame, and that is my favorite image of her. This is, again, I love the background. I love this image of her. There are like Elemental image, which is nicer. So for that reason, I feel criminal because I love Lita. I'm gonna drop her in pretty good. If it had been one of the other cards or the Hall of Fame Gothic, it would have immediately gone to great. But it is what it is. We're here where we are. So, yikes. Anyway, last few cards we have Liv Morgan Summer. It's a very... You don't see this image much at all, you know? And it looks good. I like the design in the backgrounds. I remember this tier. They have done a lot of better backgrounds for summer cards and everything since then, though. If you compare this to the other Liv Morgan above, they're not in the same. They're not in the same category. You know they're not. They're both very nice, but they're not in the same category. So by that means, this one's kind of like an average one by comparison. And when I say average, average is like average amongst like the best of the best cards, in my opinion. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not a bad thing. Anyway, up next we have another like special edition QR code one. This one's Mankind. You used to get this with I think 2K20 the game, and this was SummerSlam 19 tier edition cards, which look really nice. I like these images though. Like the Rock and Mankind look phenomenal. Becky Lynch was in it too. She wasn't my favorite image, but she was up there. So for that reason, I'm gonna drop it in pretty good. It's not the best. That could be better, but Mankind. Oh, it's good. Actually, you know what? That'd be criminal. Put it in good. It's going to integrate. It's going to integrate. That image and render used for Mankind, you can't beat it. You really can't beat it. We have Maurice Valentine up next, and again, this card looks really good. I love the Valentine designs. They have done better Valentines though, and for Maurice, I definitely think it's her best image in the game. But it is It is not hitting as high as like the John Cena, the local talent cards, the Aleister Blacks. It just can't do it for me. So next up we have Shawn Michaels. I really like the card. The card design is one of the best card designs, unique card designs for a superstar in the entire game. Ever. I've loved it. His render, on the other hand, isn't my favorite. Like, there's better Shawn Michaels images out there, in my opinion. But for that reason, I still can't score it low because it is a custom card designed specifically for him. So we're dropping Shawn Michaels Special Edition into great. We have then The Rock up next, which is, again, it was that same tier with Bayley and the Jeff card I was talking about. And again, when I say I love that tier, even though I wasn't around to play it and I don't have any of the cards, I really like the images. There was something about the renders and the designs that just hits me different. And for that reason, this Rock card is going up into the God tier with it. It can't go lower. I'm sorry, it can't do. It just can't. And next up we have Trish Stratus. I love Trish Stratus, always have done as a kid, love the storylines. It's a Valentine special, possibly from like the Attitude Era. It is really nice, to be honest with you, and a lot of people want to use it. I've seen a lot of people want to use it. It's up there as one of Trish's best images, and it was one of the better Valentine cards that have been around for a few years. The thing is, it's a good one out of the Valentine cards we've had like selected today. It's gonna be the best one, like next to the Carmella one. Like the Trish one's better. I mean, the theme for it is nicer in that sense. I think it's because I prefer Trish to Carmella, but I'm gonna put this one in God tier. It's gonna land there. You can dispute me if you want in the comments, or you can agree with me and say good choice, but that's where it's gonna land. Same reason is that up next we have SummerSlam 19 event Trish Stratus. I do have this event card. I think I still hold this event card. It looks great. Again, if I could customize the images instead, I think, yeah, this one would be up there instead. But for that reason, it's going to land in great. It's not the best. Definitely not the worst. It is still fantastic. I love them all. We have 3 cards left. So on our remaining list, we have one special Seth Rollins with the title belt image over the top. It's got like a nice background. It's usable, I would say, on most tier images, I would thought. So for that reason, I'm gonna keep the Seth Rollins fans happy at the end of the video here with a title belt image up in God tier for Seth Rollins. And to be honest with you, there's 2 images left in the game, and I know where they're both going. We have Sasha Banks, Mania 37 Spring, her best image in the game by far. But in my opinion, you know, this title image is fantastic, but it doesn't compare to the blue one in my opinion. They're like Cat Daddy's improvements in season 7 in terms of like their image designs, the backgrounds, the renders used, everything is like 10 times better than what it was like a year or 2 ago. In my opinion, like they're improving, and that's what all dev companies need to do. You need to get a bit better as you go along. And I think I really like what they do. I genuinely have enjoyed this tier, this season 7, more than any season I've ever played. And I've played for what I think now is about 4 or 5 seasons. And I can't wait to see season 8. And again, new videos will come up on that one. But until then, we have one more card to rank, which is from the most recent Extreme Edition cards. Out of the Mania 37s, this is the only one I don't have. Scarlet Mania 37 Extreme Edition. I got Carmella, which is the clip. You'll probably see it on my channel somewhere in the future. But at the same time, I love this card. I love this image. And I just gotta say that these designs for Extreme cards, I mentioned it in the previous pack opening video, the 1 to 10, 9,000 credits. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. But I say it all the time, these Extreme Edition cards this year, 2021, are the best that Cat Daddy have ever done. And you know what? It lands in God tier. They all did this season. Jeff Hardy, Carmella, all those top tier ones, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, they're all God tier. And yeah, I would love all those cards in the future. I'm so happy I got the ones I did, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It's been good fun. If you want to see more tier ranking videos in the future, I'll be sure to come through and go for them again. We'll recap this real quick. In God tier, we have Shinsuke Nakamura, old school. We have Nikki Bella title image, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho with the microphone. We then have Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Kevin Owens, Luke Harper, Undertaker, Bliss, and Bayley again. Shattered Batista, different one, but it's up there. We have Bayley with title belt image again. Becky Lynch and The Rock next to Trish Stratus, Seth title belt, and the 2 Mania 37 cards. Mania 37, dude, I said this in the tier ranking video last time. Best tier in season 7. Phenomenal cards. They always land there. The great cards include Becky Lynch. And I think last second here, I'm going to make the Becky Lynch fans happy from the start of the video. I'm going to drop the Becky Lynch card in the very, very top. It's going into God tier as well. So we're moving her up. Great tier includes Dolph Ziggler's title belt image, Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank, Titan Springs. It's kind of cool, you know. We got a good variety here. Bliss's special edition, Bret Hart, Brock with title, another Jericho. which again, I really want to drop into God tier, but I just can't bring myself to do it. We got Paige, Randy Orton, Boogie Man, AJ special editions, 2 Carmella special editions, 2 Jeff Hardys, SummerSlam Old School with Kofi. We have a Sasha Banks title belt, Charlotte Flair's, Dean Ambrose, Mankind special edition, Shawn Michaels, and a Trish Stratus. Going down in the tiers there, we go down to the more common cards you find. I think more common the card is, the less, like, I don't know, the lower I seem to have ranked it. Maybe that's a trend that I've followed here. In the pretty good category, we have, and this is gonna make it look kind of scuffed here, because as I scroll down to get my camera out of the way for you for the video, it's gonna show the white background. There's nothing we can do, but I don't know, we might find something to do with that in the future. Anyways, we got the pretty good cards. We have Triple H, Fiend, Special Edition Seth, Liv, Becky, John Cena with title belt, local talent, which again, I think it lands about there. I think that's a fair choice for it. We have Aleister Black Special Edition, Christmas Bliss, Extreme Edition Bliss, Batista Special. It's a good image. I love the fact it's got 3 faces, but it's not his best image of the game. We have classic Batista, like Cataclysm throwback. We have Mania 34 Carmella, Dakota Kai Shattered Christmas, and Kevin Owens Money in the Bank, along with Lita SummerSlam 18 Hall of Fame. They were pretty cool. We then have average cards, which were... We then have our average cards, which consist of like old school Roman Reigns, AJ Lee, Dean Ambrose. AJ Lee still feels criminal to put in that tier, but there's nicer ones out there. I promise you that. Look them up. There's some really good WWE SuperCard AJ Lee cards. We then have Battlegrounds, 2 different editions of Paige. One includes a title belt, but I want to put it in Overhyped. Actually, you know what? Last second, we're going to change that. That's going into Overhyped. Yeah, that is where it's landing. A lot of people praise it. It's not that good. There's better images of Paige out there. We ranked them higher. Anyway, we've got a Paige, a Randy Orton, a Sheamus with the title belt, which again is overused quite a lot, but I'm not putting it into Overhype. It's just, yeah, it can stay where it is. We have an Undertaker, Adam Cole, SummerSlam 19 Special Edition, Batista, also SummerSlam Special Edition. Love that card. I have Adam Cole Extreme, Bayley Mania 35, SummerSlam 19 Throwback, Big Show. We have Liv Morgan, Goliath Summer, and Maurice Valentine Vanguard. That's a mouthful. They were pretty good. And then in the Overhyped, we have the old school WrestleMania 35 art images, specifically like the Rey Mysterio ones, those sort of ones. Triple H is one quite often. Finn Balor, old school. People like it. I don't think it's that great. There's definitely better images of Finn, which is what we've ranked higher up, you know? AJ title belt, definitely overhyped. Used way too often to be unique or special, if people have it, you know. There's better images of AJ. Same with Roman Reigns with the title belt and the briefcase. It's nice that you have it, but there's a lot of people, when they have it, they just use it too much. Even on cards that don't really like it, and for me that makes it land as like overhyped. Same with the Sasha Banks Uncommon Season 2. Bliss's Christmas ones here, I might move those a little bit. I might drag that back up. So they're kind of average. It's kind of average. I wouldn't say it's overhyped, because people will probably use this one more so. But again, last second switcheroo, we're going to put it in pretty good. It's in pretty good. I can't leave that down and overhyped. I can't do it. It's got to move. So that's moved up to pretty good. Last 3 cards there we have, again, that Page title belt image. We have the SummerSlam 19 Hell in a Cell edition of The Fiend, which again looks really good, but definitely used a bit much. And then Vanguard Batista. A lot of people use like that image and suit images if they get the chance. So this one's like a representation for suit images in general. Overhyped. I said it. Anyways, I had fun making this video. Thank you guys for submitting so many images. It has taken a long time. So again, Sammy, thank you for editing this one, dude, as well. Appreciate that one. That can stay in the video. Again, if you have enjoyed this video, there was 83 images. So that's aim for 83 likes for the like goal. Why not? Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Come over to watch us live on twitch.tv/DanMakesGames. We're always streaming SuperCard every single weekend throughout this tier, new season stuff. The same way new season videos will appear here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, notice on. And of course, if you want to be part of these sort of videos in the future, I'll let you know when they're going up over on Twitch. I'll let you know about it. And by all means, come hang out in the Discord. I'll also let you know in there. There's 400 plus people in Discord now. So it's a pretty big community that you can be a part of for wrestling and a bunch of other content that you might like, such as sports and Pokemon and stuff like that. If you're a sports fan, maybe you are. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, you're a bloody legend. I appreciate you. Make sure you do drop that like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.